Hey Sport Clubs, I'm going to cover the trip request, trip approval form. So if your sport club's going to be traveling, I'll walk you through everything that you need. So please make sure forms turn in at least 2 weeks prior to travel. The earlier the better, but a minimum of 2 weeks ahead of time. For your club, put it there. Your opponent, who you're playing. If you're playing games, or tournament, please put it in here. If you're going up for one game, just put that in. If there's multiple games over the weekend, you can put that. Or if it's a tournament where you don't know how many games are being played, you'll fill that out. Travel destination can either be the university that you're playing, or if there's a stadium or a park or an address located with that location, please put that specific location in there. Your departure date from Sonoma State, the date and time, and the date and time you're going to be returning back to Sonoma State. If you have multiple vehicles that are going to be traveling, please estimate when the first vehicle is going to leave Sonoma State and when the last vehicle is going to return to Sonoma State. Any sort of estimate is okay with this. If you're going to be staying overnight somewhere, please put in your lodging name and address. If you're staying in a private residence, please put that address in and the local phone number so we can get a contact if anything happens. Below is going to be your method of transportation. So depending on which mode of transportation you're going to take, please put an X there. If there are multiple, please put multiple X's. So if you're going to be flying somewhere and then going to be taking a rental car, you'll put X's in those. For most of our trips, it's going to be private vehicles driving locally in Northern California, so please put it there. The safety officer will put your name and cell phone number and then sign and date below. If you need extra copies of this, here's where to get them. Down below is going to be our office, so that's where we're going to be approving at least the first part, and then we'll look into who's actually going on the trip. That'll be your transportation manifest. That also needs to be turned in at least 2 weeks prior to your travel, and it can be updated. So if you need to add a person, you need to add a driver, somebody can't drive, you need to switch drivers, we can help you with all that information, but we at least need the preliminary number of people and drivers turned in 2 weeks ahead of time. You have your type of transportation, which you checked off above, and just some reminders about driver's license and number of vehicles that you can and can't use. This is where you'll list your drivers and your passengers for each of the vehicles that you're going to be taking. If you have a long trip, you need multiple drivers for one car, there's room to list 2 or more drivers. And then whoever's going to be riding in those cars. We just want an accurate number as possible. If people switch around, that's okay, but at least we want to know how many people are going and then who the drivers are. Because once we get this information, we're going to check with our office if all of our drivers have turned in their necessary driver's license and insurance information and passed the driving test, and then the passengers if you've signed your waivers to be able to compete and play. So for all of your vehicles, we'll go down and we'll check how many you have. And then at the very end, please make sure that the trip leader signs and date and then turn into our office. If you have any questions about anything on these forms, please contact the Sport Club office and we will walk you through anything. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.